Okay, so here's what comes in the Powerbronze kit. So we've got left guard, left bracket, right bracket. Everything else is just a mirror. So there's grommet and spacer each side. There's a screw and nut for each side for holding the guard to the bracket. What else is there? And then obviously you've got the bar end screws, bolts, and the bar end caps, and these spacers as well. So yeah, not too bad. So in order to do this, you're going to need first of all T55 to get the original bar ends off. T50 might just about fit, but you'd be better off with the T55. That is the actual size. What else? The mirror needs to come off on the right hand side. So you'll need two 17mm spanners to get that off, because they're kind of locked together. And then lastly, each of these on the left and the right have got a 10mm nuts, and this is a 4mm Allen key for this. Bar ends are off, both sides. Now the original bar ends are really heavy. So I just hope by taking these off and fitting something else that it doesn't mean the bike becomes a lot more vibey, because I test rode the XR version of this before I bought this, and I found it really, really vibey to the point where, well, I didn't buy it because I got onto a dual carriageway and it was just so vibey that my fingers went numb within about a mile. So yeah, slight concern, but all we can do is try it and then see what happens. See what difference it makes. Okay, so removing the left mirror, it's just worth noting that you only need to slacken, basically spanner on here, hold the bottom one tight, and then turn the top in the normal direction that you would do to undo. It's just worth noting that once you get it loose, that does just pop out. And then once that's out, you don't actually need to completely take that off. Just worth knowing. Next up is just a little bit of prep on the guards themselves. So the hole here, you need to put in this grommet with a spacer. So the grommet goes in first, and then spacer in, and then that just holds it tight, and obviously I guess it stops it vibrating. Okay, so the mirror is now completely off, so you can just see what's left behind there. So the bracket for the left guard goes on like this, so it sits over the top like that, so that it clears the clutch lever, and then what was the mirror assembly screws through it and holds it tight. Okay, so next up is the bracket for the right hand guard. So that goes onto here. Whether you can see, but there's kind of a cutout here, and that's so that it doesn't catch on this here. So nice and simple, just one nut, tighten it up, no need to take anything off, and job done. Okay, so now that that's done, we're just left with these two. So we've got the guards prepped, we've got our end bolts and end caps, and we've got the nut and screw for attaching these to the brackets that are now over there on the bike. So the guards are on now, they're just fitted loosely, they're not attached to the ends yet. They're just loosely attached to the brackets. So next up is to attach the guards through to the handlebars, through sort of these bar ends. So I've assembled one in order. So what happens is this plastic bar end here has got a flange on it. Now that flange sits really nicely inside the plastic at the end of the guard, so that sits quite flush. There's a rubber washer that sits on the inside, and then there's this spacer that holds everything sort of out from the end of the handlebar. So it's the same both sides, so nice and straightforward. So I'll just show you in a bit more detail fitting these ends. So you can see that if I show you the inside here, you can see that this outer bar end here sits nice and flush on the inside, and then there's the rubber on the inside of that, and then there's the spacer. Yeah, pretty happy so far. Just a word of note, sort of with the position they end in at the beginning, doesn't really have to be where they end up. So if you look at the moment, this is kind of close to here, which is not really great, but it's quite easy just to move this bracket along and then tighten this up just to get it into the position that you're, just to move that away, just to get that just into the right position where you're comfy. Also the angle up and down as well, you can sort of vary that because you don't really want this hitting the inside. So yeah, bit of fiddling, but yeah, not too bad. There we go, all finished. I think that looks pretty mean. I quite like that. So now I'll prop a little mini Tourer. So yeah, so the plan now is to add tank bag with a lock ring and a tail pack. So then that will be fly screen, handguards, tank bag, tail pack. I've already done the rad guards, which are now absolutely filthy, but they've obviously done their job, so that's good. So yeah, turn it into a proper little sports tourer. Awesome. Hope that helps somebody out. Thanks for watching.